Hello. Welcome to an adventure. This is Archival Adventures. Today is Wednesday, November 30th of 2022, and I am Anthony Wright de Hernandez, Community Collections Archivist here at Virginia Tech. Some of you, depending on which channel you're watching, may know me as Rogan27 from Twitch. And this is the show where I share things from the archives and special collections here. So welcome. Hopefully you're in the right spot. If not, hopefully you'll hang out and see, what this is all about. And, hopefully you can hear my voice or read the captions. And there should be music. And there should be a decent balance between the music and voice. We hope. Let me know if there's a problem there on either of those fronts. So for anyone new, this show goes out to two Twitch channels. Twitch.tv/VTUL Studios, which is the Virginia Tech University Library's studios, as well as my own personal channel, Rogan27. Hannah, it is great to see you. Say hello to Gambit for me. I'm so happy that this little kitten is gaining energy and seems to be rallying. Hi, Fluidan. It's good to see you as well. Yeah, I suppose I should probably actually move towards the content because we have limited time on Wednesdays. It is just a 2-hour stream. It's been 2 weeks since I saw you all. 2 weeks ago, we looked at what did we do 2 weeks ago? Yeah, you think I remember? Oh, Fluidan, thank you so much for the resubscription. 11 months! And using your Prime subscription, that is always very much appreciated. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. How am I supposed to remember 2 weeks ago? We were looking at the Educational Cookery Collection last week because, it was the last stream before Thanksgiving here in the US, and who doesn't want to improve their cooking skills right before Thanksgiving? I don't think, I do think we did learn something that could be useful, or could have been useful. We learned about measurements, but because we ran across the first published source that standardized measurements in the United States. So tablespoons and teaspoons and when you flatten them and when they're rounded and all of that. This week, we're also going to be looking at a food-related collection in case you still don't have enough after last week's Harvest Festival of Thanksgiving here in the US. I have another food collection this week, and then next week's stream comes up on Pearl Harbor Day, and I found the one collection in our collections that is peripherally related. So we'll be looking at the Thornton Page papers next week. And then the rest of December, so we just have 3 streams in December. We'll have baking ads with special guest archivist Kira. And then the final stream before the university shuts down for a week on the 21st of December, we're going to do Winter Solstice story time. And so I'm going to have winter-related images to put up on the screen while I read you stories. So that's coming up toward the end of the month. But we should probably actually get started the way we always start this stream, with places in the special collection to take cozy naps. No thank you. No, you do not want to nap in our stacks. There's significantly less room than the main stacks. Our stacks are only accessible because technically, if somebody needed help to get something off of a shelf because they physically could not do it, we would offer them that help. And that's all that the Americans with Disabilities Act requires. That said, since we're talking about an aspect of diversity by bringing that up, the Land Acknowledgement and Labor Recognition from Virginia Tech Oh, and there goes Hannah. Thank you, Hannah, for dropping that in the studio's chat. I still don't think I've gotten you the link permission that I meant to get you, but I'll deal with that later. I thought about it right before stream, but then I forgot again. Anyway, starting the stream off with Virginia Tech's land acknowledgement and labor recognition, just to orient ourselves. Virginia Tech acknowledges that we live and work on the Tudelo and Monacan people's homeland, and we recognize their continued relationships with their lands and waterways. We further acknowledge that legislation and practices like the Morrill Act of 1862 enabled the Commonwealth of Virginia to finance and found Virginia Tech through the forced removal of Native nations from their lands, both locally and in Western territories. We understand that honoring Native peoples without explicit material commitments falls short of our institutional responsibilities. Through sustained, transparent, and meaningful engagement with the Tudelo and Monacan peoples and other Native nations, we commit to changing the trajectory of Virginia Tech's history by increasing Indigenous student, staff, and faculty recruitment and retention, diversifying course offerings, and meeting the growing needs of all Virginia tribes and supporting their sovereignty. We must also recognize that enslaved Black people generated revenue and resources used to establish Virginia Tech and were prohibited from attending until 1953. Through inclusive VT, the institutional and individual commitment to Ut Prosim, that I may serve, in the spirit of community, diversity, and excellence, we commit to advancing a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive community. So that is the university's statement. And I think it's important that we look at it every week, so we do. And you all have seemed very supportive of that, and I thank you for that. So the collection that we're looking at today, I've got the finding aid here, and we'll glance at the finding aid here and sort of learn what this is all about. Thank you for dropping that in chat. Reasonable accommodations, Lord Portico, you are correct. Those reasonable accommodations can be literally, if anybody ever asks for help, we'll help them. So, it is a very limited. I'll have to see. I don't know what we have on ADA in our collections, but I'll have to take a look and see, and if there's enough, we'll do a stream about it. But this week, we have the American Egg Board collection. It spans 1974 to 2004, and it is just 0.2 cubic feet, one box. Hi, Iron Trout, how are you today? This is the box. That said, if we did, by some miracle, happen to get through the entire box and have time left over, I have the collection of letters that I'm currently processing here, and I could just start processing and showing you that. But there's no way we're going to get through this. So, biographical note. This is mislabeled. Typically, for an organization, we wouldn't do biographical. We would do organizational note, or I forget precisely the term, but we have a term that we alternate with. Regardless, background on the person or organization that we will be looking at materials from. The American Egg Board is an organization that works with egg producers to successfully market eggs to the public. This nationally funded organization works to increase the public demand for eggs and egg products. Although the board is appointed by the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, the board is made up of 18 representatives as well as 18 alternates, all from all areas of the country. I don't know if any of that is outdated information. I'm looking to see when was this processed. So that information was put into this finding aid in 2009. It's possible that 18 representatives may not be accurate anymore. I don't know. But it's a group that works to sell eggs to the public. this collection is a bunch of ephemera. It's recipe cards that feature recipes with eggs as the main ingredient, educational pamphlets, as well as like ad information about eggs from this group that is responsible for trying to get Americans to eat more eggs. And so you see there, the container list consists of box 1, approximately 100 pamphlets and recipe cards, 1974 to 2004. And that's literally what we have. You love how these XYZ boards are all just marketing agencies run by a co-op of the producers made to look like a public service. Indeed, Iron Trout. And I don't know what they're all called. I know this is the American Egg Board. I know there's one for pork. Because they put out the ad campaign, Pork the Other White Meat, that if you grew up in the United States, you may be familiar with. There's one for milk that has worked extensively with libraries on the Got Milk campaign. So this is the egg version, and you may be familiar, again, if you grew up in the United States, you may have seen the Incredible Edible Egg advertisements. Those were from this group. This is the group that was responsible for those. So let's go ahead and I'm going to switch us to the top-down camera. Wow, I was going to look up something a moment ago, but I forgot what it was. So, yes, cotton, the touch, the feel of cotton. Yes, I hadn't even thought of that, but it would also be, yeah, the same type of commodities organization. Nope, I wanted, Sorry, I was trying to do a quick, subtle little copy paste, but I was not able to do so. There. I was trying to drop the survey link into the VTUL Studios channel, and boy, did that not work out quite the way I had it anticipated. Anyway, this is what the box looks like after it's been processed. It's literally just a box with a bunch of stuff in it. This is, I would say, minimal processing. There are different levels of processing that are common in archival practice. The reason I say this is minimal is the stuff is just in the box. There's no additional organization to it. It's not been like stuck in folders by, say, the year it was produced, which might be useful, but also might not. And if it didn't have that organization to begin with, there's no reason that we need to force a year, like a date organization onto it. But the real reason I know this is minimal processing is there are rubber bands, and there is existing organization in this collection that is not reflected anywhere in the finding aid. So we're going to look at that while we look at this collection, because I may have processed it differently if I had been the one processing it. And so we'll talk about why that is a little bit. The fabric of your shirt or something, yes. Yeah, there was the touch, the feel of cotton. There was Pork the Other White Meat. Where's the Beef? The Incredible Edible Egg. Got Milk. And in a similar style, though not a commodity, obviously, there is the Oh, yes, absolutely. There was the California Raisins. I don't know if they were, I don't know specifically who put out the California Raisins ad campaign. Why would you bundle paper products with rubber bands? Iron trout, it's not uncommon. But rubber bands do not do well long term. They dry out, they get crumbly, but they also stay stuck to whatever they were holding together, and they're icky and horrible to remove. They are really unpleasant to deal with. I can't think of the tagline. This is horrible. I should know this tagline. Because wow, I just can't think of what it is. Anyway, there's a whole campaign from the American Library Association that gets like, I think it's just the Read campaign. That has celebrities with, yeah, it's just the Celebrity Read campaign, and it has an image of celebrities with books. And that's kind of a similar iconic marketing campaign that is not, oh yes, there's the reading is fundamental one, yes. So that's similar, but books and libraries are not commodities. And the thing about the American Egg Board is it is the type of organization that exists for commodities in the United States. We looked this up a couple weeks ago. And Wikipedia actually gave us some decent information, but there's also the American Egg Board's website is incredibleegg.org, which they really loved that ad campaign. Whatever ad company came up with it did an excellent job, apparently. Yes, so I'll read the description quick from Wikipedia. We will look at the ad pamphlet that is in front of us right now. But the Egg Board is a checkoff organization, meaning that it is funded by a levy against its members for each unit they produce, in this case, an amount per case of eggs shipped. Let's see, it still says 18 members. So a checkoff program. In the United States, a commodity checkoff program promotes and provides research and information for a particular agricultural commodity without reference to specific producers or brands. So that's why the ad campaigns from the American Egg Board are all about selling eggs, not selling you a particular brand or type of eggs, just selling eggs. Although the American Egg Board is focused entirely on chicken eggs. You won't find them advertising duck eggs or quail eggs or ostrich eggs or just chicken eggs. But so yeah, and they exist for commodities. And so then the question is, what is a commodity? Which I'm going to look up the dictionary definition because I can't really exactly tell you. I have a general idea, but I've never looked up the definition before. A commodity is a raw material or primary agricultural product that can be bought and sold, such as copper or coffee. So in the cases of the ad campaigns that we've been remembering, cotton, agricultural product that is used to make other things. So primary ag product, eggs, beef, pork, milk, all of these are primary agricultural products. We don't see ad campaigns like that for copper and steel and tin, and I'm guessing because there's less of a direct appeal to the public in marketing those. You don't know why it took you so long to remember it being from Oklahoma, but beef, it's what's for dinner, said in a slow Texas drawl. Yes. Yes. And I remember all of these from growing up. Like, they were just on television all the time. And they were in print media as well, magazines, etc. I'm going to zoom in on this pamphlet, and we're going to take a look at Blast Off to Better Grades. If it's not eggs, it's not breakfast. We're going to see how good of a advertiser voice I can do today, because a lot of these are going to be advertisements, I have a feeling. Get a smart start with eggs. Don't do mornings? Many of us like to avoid everything that involves waking up early. But think about it. You've gone about 8 or 9 hours without eating. Since your brain has no reserves of blood glucose, its main source of energy, it's important to refuel in the morning. Studies over the last 30 years have confirmed this. For instance, researchers at the Chicago Medical School found that those who ate a balanced breakfast scored significantly higher on tests and were less depressed, anxious, and hyperactive than those who ate an unbalanced breakfast or skipped the meal. These students had a better attitude towards school and therefore were more likely to be in class and to be on time. Balanced breakfast eaters also exhibited improved strength and endurance and were not as susceptible to gnawing hunger pains in the late morning. What's a good breakfast? Simply eat your way up the food guide pyramid. I'm just going to throw out historical terms, not because there's any really outdated terms here, just this is citing science that is from 2001 or before, so 20 years out of date at least. And also the food pyramid is basically not used anymore. So just wanted to throw that out there. Simply eat your way up the food guide pyramid, choosing a grain, a protein source like eggs, a low-fat dairy product, and fruit or juice. Eggs, an economical source of high-quality protein, fit right into an overall diet that focuses on moderate amounts of a wide variety of foods. Don't let your budding geniuses leave the house without their high-quality protein. Sit them down and say, "Hey kids, we're talking possible scholarship here." Who do we think the audience is for this? That's what I'm a little dumbfounded with. Because the graphics on the front are very, very much targeted toward middle to high school age range, 2001, these graphics, this is targeted at middle and high school age people. But then you get inside and the information on the inside starts out and it feels like it's talking to the targeted audience of kids, but it shifts over time to where it's definitely talking to the parents at the end. But the beginning of this text seems like it's talking to the kids. And I'm confused why it switches. But also, there's no way a middle schooler or a high schooler is going to read this entire middle paragraph. They might get through the first 2 sentences at the top. This is a boring pamphlet. Why would a kid want to read this? Targeted to kids with the intention of the kids bringing them to their parents. Probably. Probably distributed in schools or youth-centered places. Yeah, my understanding of the best way to go about this type of marketing to middle and high school age students. So, oh gosh, I haven't really thought about, we have an international audience, so I need to give age ranges here. Roughly 18 minus 4, so 14. So roughly the teenage years, say 11 to 18, 12 to 18, yeah. My understanding is that there should be 2 separate informational sources, one that is entirely targeted to the kids and one that is entirely targeted to the parents. This weird mixture probably isn't going to cut it. Anyway, then you get very bright primary color images. So we've got the, I don't know, what would you call this? An egg pizza burrito? It's got scrambled eggs with, no, those aren't scrambled. It's got mashed hard-boiled egg spread on a tortilla and topped with slices of cooked pepperoni. I'm assuming that's what's inside the rolled up ones as well. A breakfast burrito? You looked at it and said eggs, chorizo, and salsa. I don't see any salsa. I do see a glass of milk. But it's mashed hard-boiled eggs. I thought it was scrambled eggs at first, but it's not. I'm not going to criticize everything. I'm just... I'm not sure I've ever thought of pepperoni with eggs. That's, I think, why I was a little taken by surprise, is I honestly don't think I've ever thought of pepperoni. But those are clearly pepperoni. They're not just chorizo, they're pepperoni. Anyway, you look concerned. Pepperoni and eggs sounds horrible, doesn't it? But why, so question, why is pepperoni and eggs less desirable than chorizo and eggs? They're both sausages. The one below that is a lovely French toast, although it appears to be specifically French toast peanut butter and jelly, served with hot cocoa with mini marshmallows and some fresh strawberries. These are definitely French toast, but they've been turned into, actually, I don't even think it's peanut butter and jelly. I think it is peanut butter and hazelnut spread on French toast. Don't expect you to make sense. Calling pepperoni sausage is like calling American cheese cheese. Interesting. We may need to look at the history of pepperoni. Oh, that was what I was gonna do. There was something, I had an idea for a potential stream, but I was on the screen sharing, so I didn't go to the spreadsheet and add it. It was ADA, and then I just had one history of pepperoni. Those are potential things that we can explore on stream in future. Since we have a cooking collection and a food history collection here, I'll see if I can find any things on, like, pepperoni. I have no idea what I will discover, but I'll look at it, and if I find stuff, we'll have a stream on it. This looks like just an egg scramble. Although, instead of these being peppers, I thought these were peppers. These are not peppers. These are apples scrambled up in the eggs. Again, not a pairing I ever would have thought of. The French toast is promising, as long as you're not allergic to eggs or nuts. Or strawberries. But yeah, this egg scramble has green and red apples cut up in it. Eggs with heated apples. Again, not something I ever would have thought of, but I'm not certain why not. We put bell peppers in eggs all the time, and they're also a sweet, I think technically, possibly, we tend to classify them as vegetables, but I think they are a fruit because they have the seeds on the inside. It depends on your definition of fruit. Avocados are fruits, but I certainly don't think of them as fruits. Tomatoes are fruits, but again, I think of them as vegetables. And then we have a, what looks to me, because of its bright yellow, and I don't know how well the brightness of this yellow translates onto stream. I think these are cheesy eggs. I think this is scrambled eggs and cheese with some scallion on a corn tortilla. So, yeah. I have things that are yelling at me because their batteries are dying. So that's one side. Oh, look! The recipes for all the things we just saw? What? The rocket roll-up, which was this one. So we've analyzed, let's see how accurate we were. 1 6-inch flour or corn tortilla, 1 tablespoon of cheese spread, your favorite variety. There are multiple varieties of cheese spread. 5 slices of pepperoni and 1 hard-cooked egg, chopped. Yeah, cheese spread. These are very clearly recipes that are meant for the kids to make. Place the tortilla, well, it gives the instructions on how to make it. I'm not going to read the entire recipe, but those are the ingredients. Press for time, layer a toasted English muffin with a slice of tomato and a fried egg. Top with a sprinkling of shredded cheeses. It will melt temptingly over the egg. That has nothing to do with the rocket roll-up. That's a completely different recipe. Not hungry yet? Something's better than nothing. Grab a hard-cooked egg and a food storage bag and squirt in your favorite condiment. Exactly 5. We must have the points of a pentagram and make the incantation. Oh, Portico. I hadn't even thought of that, but you're probably right. Stardust stuffed toast. 1 loaf of Italian bread, about 15 inches long and 4 inches in diameter. 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter. 2 milk chocolate candy bars. Oh my gosh, it's not even hazelnut spread, it's just peanut butter and chocolate. 4 eggs beaten, 1 cup of skim or low-fat milk, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, confectioner's sugar or sliced fresh strawberries, optional. My brain did not go to peanut butter and chocolate because I don't like the two of them together. You're right, 2001 was a bit early for hazelnut spread in the US. And you're also correct that most people don't think of it as hazelnut spread and just think of it by the brand name Nutella. Just like in the US, a lot of things go by their brand name. Scotch tape, Kleenex. So Nutella is another product where it is the defining word. Or also, when you say you're going to go Google something, it doesn't matter what search engine you're doing, you're Googling it. Anyway, I don't know what, I've distracted myself. We got through the ingredients there. I honestly thought it was hazelnut spread. I thought it was Nutella. But again, that's my bias because I don't like peanut butter and chocolate together. So I didn't even conceive that it was chocolate. And hey, hazelnut spread and chocolate, melted chocolate, look very similar. Okay. Orbital oatmeal. Oh, what? Now I'm confused. I thought they were selling eggs. So this is the thing with the apples in it, where I was like, why are there apples in those scrambled eggs? Apparently it's an oatmeal dish. Apples make much more sense in oatmeal. 1 cup of quick cooking oats, 2 eggs beaten, 2 cups of skim or low-fat milk, 1/3 of a cup packed brown sugar, and 1/3 of a cup of raisins. Stir in low-fat milk or optional. Wait, there are no apples on the ingredients list. In medium saucepan, stir together the oats, eggs, milk, brown sugar, and raisins. Cook and stir frequently over medium heat. I have never put eggs in oatmeal before. Again, I am baffled by this taste combination. Kids hard to please? Make them green eggs and ham. Beat chopped spinach and ham into eggs and scramble. Delicious with a slice of whole grain toast. I like the idea of enticing children with green eggs and ham. I don't think chopped spinach and ham mixed in with eggs will satisfy that given the illustrations in the storybook. I think you're going to have to add food coloring to make the kids actually think of it as green eggs and ham. And then the last was the astrotatas. Eggs, milk, green chilies. So they're not chives, they're green chilies. Corn or flour tortillas, cheddar or Monterey Jack. Oh wait, then they have the green onions, the chives on top. I guess chives and green, I'm using them interchangeably, but they are green onions that they're using here. Salsa or taco sauce. Okay. Okay, all of it makes at least sense insofar as they have created a recipe that their food testers have decided is decent enough to publish and put out there. So my only confusion then is the bowl of oatmeal that shows cut up apples in it and has apples nowhere on the ingredients list. Anyway, how about we look at another thing? We spent a lot of time on that pamphlet. I always get distracted by whatever the first thing is that we pull out. Incredibly easy egg dishes. From Teflon, Silverstone, and the incredible edible egg. I will say hashtag not sponsored. This stream is in no way sponsored by eggs, or by Teflon or Silverstone. Let's see. All-time great egg recipes. I thought I was going to get by with zooming in, but I think I may actually need to stay out here. So there's an order form. You can get a booklet of classic egg dishes by sending $1 to apparently an address in Park Ridge, Illinois. I will say if you do send $1 to that address and ask for a classic egg dishes pamphlet, do let me know that you have done so and what the result is, because I have no idea whether that is still a thing. And I am in no way encouraging you to do it. I'm just saying if somebody does do it, tell me about it. I think it's a waste of $1 personally, but that said, if you decide you want to do that, I want to know about it. The incredible edible egg. Eggs are one of today's best food buys, and they're so good so many different ways. In fact, you can do more things with eggs than you probably ever realized. They're natural wonders for meals, snacks, appetizers, whatever. Plus, most egg recipes are incredibly quick and easy to prepare. Eggs are also good for you. They're high in protein and only 80 calories each, so make sure you keep enough on hand. And I wonder, that has to be intentional, doesn't it? Make sure you keep enough on hand, and then they have the illustration of a hand holding an egg with the incredible edible egg caption. That has to be intentional. I will say eggs are one of the very few things that I do cook. And one of the things that I learned to do during lockdown back in 2020 was I learned how to make an omelet. Just as a hint, you have to crack some eggs. You can't make an omelet without breaking a couple eggs. I learned that this was indeed true and not just a saying. Master the omelet in minutes. You can fill an omelet with almost anything. Leftovers, for example. Is there anybody watching who would actually put leftovers in an omelet? And if so, what leftovers? That does not sound good to me, honestly. Okay, leftovers, for example, come back in style in an omelet. Or wrap cooked, chopped, or sliced vegetables, meat, or fish in an omelet. Cheeses of all varieties make perfect omelet fillings. Fruits, fresh, canned, or frozen, are delightful omelet fillings for brunches, lunches, and even desserts. It's easy. Just start with 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons water, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a dash of pepper, 1 tablespoon of butter. Heat the butter in an omelet pan with Teflon or Silverstone until butter sizzles. Mix the eggs, water, salt, pepper with a fork. And it gives an illustration of it. You wouldn't put chow mein in one. So Thanksgiving ham leftovers, those would make sense. Fried omurice? I don't know how to say that word. And I don't know what it is. Hi, Alexi. Eggs, indeed, eggs. I've not heard of this before. What is this? While I go and do a generic internet search to learn about what is this. Omurice. A Japanese dish consisting of an omelet made with fried rice and thin fried scrambled eggs, usually topped with ketchup. This is probably part of why I don't know about it. Again, another food aversion of mine is ketchup and eggs together. Popular dish also commonly cooked at home. It's featured in Japan's version of a children's meal, okosama ranchi. Interesting. I had not heard of this one. So it's fried rice and fried scrambled eggs inside an omelet. Cool. So this pamphlet, clearly a collaboration between the American Egg Board and the makers of Teflon or Silverstone. Silverstone, I'm honestly not familiar with. I don't remember it. I'm sure I knew about it when I was younger. It has entirely left my awareness. I want to say those are DuPont chemicals. Ketchup is a so-called food you generally avoid. Ketchup is a condiment or a sauce. It's a vinegar sauce. It can be made with a variety of things. Traditional ketchups were made with walnuts and mushrooms and tomato. Tomato ketchup became really popular due to food shortages of mushrooms and walnuts. And so tomato just, I guess there wasn't a shortage of tomato. I would have to dig into that some more. I've had blueberry ketchup, or a vegetable in the 1980s. Yeah, due to its classification in school lunch programs, not a joke. Indeed, you are right. Didn't one of our first ladies declare ketchup a vegetable? It was the Reagan administration. See, now I'm checking. Oh no, I'm right. It's in the pamphlet. I didn't even have to do the generic internet search. Teflon and Silverstone are DuPont chemicals. My reaction to seeing them advertised heavily here, yes, a nonstick pan makes an omelet much easier. I had pet birds, and I know from that some of the nonstick coatings can release chemicals that will kill the birds. And so most of my cookware is not nonstick. Supper in a skillet, golden grills. But since I have now bad-mouthed nonstick coatings, let's see what they were advertising. I don't know when this pamphlet is from. Yeah, it doesn't have a date on it. But since I was just talking about how better living through chemistry, how nonstick coatings can release hazardous chemicals, let's see what they say. Teflon and Silverstone, quality nonstick surfaces. Teflon and Silverstone, DuPont's famous family of nonstick surfaces for cookware, have become, since their introduction, friends in the kitchen to homemakers across the country. First to arrive was Teflon, which has been steadily improved over the years, and 3 years ago it was joined by Silverstone, the durable, ultra-smooth premium nonstick used only on quality aluminum cookware for top-of-range, bakeware, and small electrical appliances. The incredible, edible egg and Teflon or Silverstone go together like, well, ham and eggs. Sunny side up, scrambled, in an omelet, or paper-thin crepes. Whatever your egg dish, it's easier in a pan with a DuPont non-stick, easy clean surface. So this pamphlet is from, hashtag not sponsored. This pamphlet is from 3 years after the release of Silverstone. So while it is not a dated document in that it does not have a date on it, the information in here, oh, it's a nonstick plastic made by DuPont. It was released in 1976, so this pamphlet is from 1979. And Hannah beat me to the date, but yeah, so this pamphlet is from 1979. The Incredible Edible Egg ad campaign has been around my entire life. You never thought that I would sell out to Big Teflon, Detective Zen. I don't know what to tell you. But sadly, the money was just too good. Hashtag not sponsored. No, I had pet birds, and Teflon is one of the nonstick coatings that when heated too hot releases chemicals that will kill birds. And if you remember, birds used to be taken into mines because they were more susceptible to airborne toxins that would kill humans. Canary in a coal mine was to test the air to see if the air was good. So if your cookware is releasing chemicals that will kill birds, maybe it's not great for using yourself. That said, it has to get up to like over 500 degrees before that becomes an issue. And most cooking does not require temperatures that high. Just wait for the December 14th stream. All the Elixir jokes. Thank you, Portico, for the hydrate. Okay, we have been streaming for an hour, and we've only looked at 2 pamphlets. So I'm going to go through a few quickly here. Let's see what we can learn. This is copyright 1980, the American Egg Board. Answers to often asked questions about eggs. Educational pamphlet. What are your questions about eggs? You're not in it for the points. Which came first? The chicken or the egg? And they're... Wow. Okay. So, wow. Let's just, let's take a look at their answer here. Which came first? The perverse use of exactly 5 pepperoni in a breakfast burrito required attention. Indeed. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The answer provided by the American Egg Board is, according to the Bible, the chicken came first. And the, quote, and the evening and the morning were the 4th day, and God said, quote, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven, unquote, unquote, Genesis 1:19 and 20. Exactly, Lord Portico. I did not expect, although I don't know why I did not expect, the marketing organization for the U.S. commodity eggs would provide an answer to which came first, the chicken or the egg, by quoting the Bible and only quoting the Bible. Like, sure, fine, you can introduce that as a source of a potential answer. Yes, 1980. But come on. You should also include a joke or some other yeah, hashtag fact check. I mean, scientifically speaking, if you look at the theory of evolution, the first chicken that was actually a chicken hatched from an egg. Was that egg a chicken egg? It was likely laid by something very similar to a chicken. But was the egg a chicken egg, or was it the egg of the animal that laid it? Is the egg of the animal inside it, or the egg of the animal that laid it? Answer that, and you'll know which came first. What do egg grade and size standards mean? This is actually a good question. And I'm hoping they don't refer to the Bible in the answer. Answer. Eggs are marketed according... Eggs are marketed according to grade and size standards established by the United States Department of Agriculture. Size and grade are two entirely different factors bearing no relationship to one another. Grade refers to the quality of both the egg and its shell at the time the egg is packed. Grades are AA, A, B, and C. Grades B and C are most often processed into dried or other egg products. When broken out, eggs of different grades would look like this. Grade AA eggs. Eggs are. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. The type of people who go to the effort of tracking down this pamphlet would most likely go to church. You are indeed correct, Detective Zen. Wouldn't be a chicken all the way back, just changed. Still be a chicken, just not evolved into what we see as a chicken. Well, so Iron Trout, at some point, if you follow evolution back far enough, the chicken evolved from some previous form. And I can't honestly say whether that previous form was an egg layer or not, because I don't know the evolutionary history of the chicken. But it's most likely that the prior creature was an egg layer. But we probably call it something other than chicken. I don't know. I haven't researched that myself. Grade AA. A grade AA egg will stand up tall. The yolk is firm, and the area covered by the white is small. There is a large proportion of thick white to thin white. In some areas, these are called fresh fancy. AA eggs are the perfect size for Walkmans. What? Oh gosh. Ouch, Detective Zen, that took me a moment. Eggs don't stand. Someone should tell them that. I'm just curious, like, if I let a grade AA egg sit in the fridge for a month, is it still a grade AA? Because I doubt it will look the same after it's aged a month. Grade A, a grade A egg, covers a relatively small area. The yolk is round and upstanding. The thick white is large in proportion to the thin white and stands fairly well around the yolk. See, that seems more like, well, I mean, I usually buy grade A eggs anyway. I don't think I usually buy AA's, except in batteries. Grade B egg spreads out more. The yolk is flattened and there is about as much or more thin white as thick white. If not properly refrigerated, or if refrigerated for lengthy periods of time, eggs will lose carbon dioxide and water, which causes them to spread out more when broken into a pan. This natural aging process does not affect the nutritional quality of the eggs, but may cause them to be classified as a lower grade. These eggs still perform well in scrambled or baked dishes. And then it talks about size. They interestingly do not give a description of a grade C egg. There's no description included of a grade C egg. Round and upstanding, like me. Isn't there a place in like Ecuador that you can make an egg stand on its end? There are numerous folk tales about being able to stand eggs on their end. Do they do yolks? How long will eggs keep? Fresh shell eggs can be stored in their carton in the refrigerator for at least 4 to 5 weeks. Grade quality losses should be insignificant if the eggs are refrigerated as soon as possible after purchase from a refrigerated case. For most purposes, it's best, they just answered the question that I had about will it be the same? Will it still meet the definition of AA if refrigerated for a long period of time? And their answer is yes. For most purposes, it's best not to let eggs sit out. They'll age more in 1 day at room temperature than in 1 week in the refrigerator. It's best to store eggs in their cartons because eggs can absorb refrigerator odors. I didn't know that. Hard-cooked eggs Although, how much do I really trust them after they told me that the answer to which came first was a Bible verse? Hard-cooked eggs should be stored in the refrigerator as soon as they are cooled and should be used within a week. Raw whites will keep a week to 10 days if refrigerated in a tightly covered container. Store unbroken raw yolks covered with water in a tightly covered container in the refrigerator and use within 2 to 3 days. I actually do trust their information on this. They seem a reputable source of information for this type of information, whereas I don't necessarily trust them on the Bible explaining which came first. Can eggs be frozen? I mean, have you been to your grocer's freezer aisle lately? I would say yes. And indeed, they say yes. They say you can freeze raw whole eggs, which I've never even contemplated. Eggs cannot be frozen in their shells. You're distracted by the price of eggs? Detective Zen. Excellent. We don't talk about grade C. No, no, no. I think I maybe even slightly approximated the tune of that song, but I know where you were going. I haven't listened to it in a little bit, and it's not immediately in my brain. I also couldn't remember what grade C was replacing. It's Bruno. Is it safe to eat raw? Is it safe to eat raw eggs? Everything can be frozen. The real question is it still edible? You're not wrong. If an egg's shell is clean, uncracked, and unbroken, it is safe to use. The egg in a beverage or other uncooked or partially cooked recipe that will be eaten right away. So as long as it's clean and the shell isn't broken, they say yes. I will say, this pamphlet is from 1980, and do not take health information from this stream. This stream is not a good source of reputable health information. As I am providing you health information from people who were trying to sell you eggs that was published in 1980. I would not necessarily risk my life on it. Thank you for the historical terms. I just realized you were talking about the price of eggs as listed here. Price per dozen. Whoa! Really? 55 cents for a dozen large eggs? Okay, so this is calculated based on the weight. I'm still really confused by this chart. But regardless, these eggs are very inexpensive. You can store them at 99.5 to 100.5 degrees Fahrenheit for 21 days if properly fertilized. I did not know that was not worth it. Also, hi. Your baking bill would be lower at these prices, indeed, if you ran your own flour mill, but this is 2022, not 1822. Also, flour mills, notoriously dangerous places. If you look at the history of Minneapolis. The early 1900s radium industry. 5 basic methods of egg cooking: fried, scrambled, cooked in the shell, poached, and baked. I really should zoom out when I switch documents so that we get to see basically the whole thing all at once. It gives a bunch of different recipes. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this pamphlet. It appears to be from roughly the same time period. Oh! It is copyright 1976, revised February 1981. And a lovely pamphlet here about 5 different ways of cooking eggs. So far, all of this is just uncategorized, just loose in the box. Don't know exactly. Eggs, before and after. That's a very odd title. But then you have chickens instead of eggs. Why are most of the egg shapes upside down? Yeah, you're right. All of their eggs are upside down, except this one from 2001 with the rocket ship coming out of it is the wide part on the bottom. But all of these other illustrations, it is the pointed end on the bottom. I don't know. I assume that's the way it comes out of the chicken, that the narrower end comes out first, but I don't know. I honestly have never considered that, but that's an excellent question. If anybody can find an answer, I'd love to hear. So we've got a snowman and some holly as illustrations on here. It's in red. It's got the Incredible Edible Egg logo down in the bottom. These are Christmas time recipes. Elegant egg salad canapes. 20 canapes. Who says fancy means complicated? The festively colored, elegantly flavored egg salad mixture can be made ahead of time, in almost no time, and refrigerated. From there, it takes mere minutes to spread on bread, broil, and serve. I was like, wait, you're gonna spread it on bread and then boil it? Broil. I say fancy means complicated. Apparently storing eggs with the narrow end down is the proper way to store them? I have never heard this. Every wedding planner for rich people says fancy means complicated. Amazing, Hannah. Is there a reason why storing them narrow end down is the proper way? Because I literally have never bought them from the store with the narrow end down, and so now I'm really interested. So this canapes, it's an egg salad. Mayonnaise, green onions, blue cheese. Blue cheese. I understand that people like it. We're running into a lot of the things that I just don't care for with my palate. Pimento, parsley, lemon juice, garlic salt, 6 hard-cooked eggs, 20 slices of cocktail-sized rye bread. What is cocktail-sized bread? I assume just smaller slices, but I don't know. You combine the stuff, stir in the eggs, top each bread slice with about 1 rounded tablespoon of the egg mixture. Place on a baking sheet and broil about 6 inches from heat until lightly browned and bubbly, about 1 to 2 minutes. 73 calories per canape. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I wouldn't do blue cheese, but I don't like blue cheese. So it's hot. Yeah, I also not really interested in hot egg salad. Cracker-sized slices, got it. There's an air cell inside eggs, which I knew, on the large end. Keeping the large end up keeps that air cell there and keeps the eggs fresher longer. Interesting. That makes sense. As far as like, I know that's the placement of where that or air pocket is, but I didn't know. Wait. Why didn't these 1970s publishers ever consider the tastes of 2022 Rogan? Indeed. Like, sorry, your attempt at humor has failed and flown right over my head. Oh, when fertilized 21 days at that temperature required for them to hatch into chickens. Oh, was not worth it. Yeah, I totally missed it. That... Storing eggs at 99.5 to 100.5 degrees Fahrenheit for 21 days, if properly fertilized, would result in chickens, and I did not catch that. So we've got additional little flyers here. I assume these would have been just like at your local grocer, possibly in a little holder, either next to the register or next to the eggs, where you can just take one of these. It's got a little recipe on it. So we've got break out the eggs to cut calories. Marvelous make-ahead salad. Break out the holiday spirit with eggs. Trim the tree quiche. Keep time with eggs. Frittata in a flash. Eggs make it light. Naturally light omelet. I don't know the date on these little flyers, but my guess is these are probably also around like the late 1970s, early 1980s. I'm just gonna, we've got a lot of these. Jazz up your meals with eggs. Oh, sorry. I should look at the actual confidence monitor to know that. So Easter time, May apparently was or is National Egg Month. Fiesta of egg recipes. Eggs set the course, a nautical theme one. Frozen strawberry pineapple fluff. That doesn't sound like an egg dish. You thought the holiday spirit for the 70s is lots of booze? Probably. Eggs light and natural. Eggs over the rainbow with a Polynesian egg salad. Eggs, nature's holiday gift. What does that have to do with sailing? Let's find out. Frozen strawberry pineapple fluff. About 3.5 quarts or 14 one-cup servings. Chilly, fruity, and melt-in-your-mouth light, this special dessert is an indulgence that can fit into almost anyone's calorie budget. 6 eggs separated, 1 can, 8 ounces, crushed pineapple in unsweetened pineapple juice, undrained. 3/4 cup of sugar, 2 cups pureed fresh strawberries, about 4 cups whole, 1 teaspoon rum extract, a half a teaspoon of coconut extract, 3/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, 1 can, 12 ounces of evaporated skimmed milk, whipped. There's an asterisk that I'm guessing will refer to something on the back. Based on the ingredients, the eggs are to make a, like, you beat them. You're gonna make a meringue, or that's what the fluff is gonna be. You're gonna whip the eggs, because with the cream of tartar is going to help to hold the soft peaks or stiff peaks, whatever you're going for. In a medium saucepan, blend together the egg yolks, pineapple, and sugar. Cook over low heat, stirring constantly until mixture thickens and just begins to bubble. Remove from heat and stir in strawberries and extracts until well combined. Cover and chill thoroughly. In large mixing bowl, beat egg whites with cream of tartar at high speed until stiff but not dry. Just until whites no longer slip when bowl is tilted. Gently but thoroughly fold chilled strawberry mixture and whipped milk into whites. Wait, when did we whip the milk? We didn't, but apparently we need to. Oh, whipped. It was in the ingredients list, so we did it in mise en place at the beginning, if we noticed. Pour into freezer-safe 12 to 14 cup mold or large bowl, or individual containers. Cover and freeze until firm, at least 8 hours or overnight. I still don't know why this is nautical. Before serving, let stand to soften, about 15 minutes. Oh, here's the asterisk. To whip milk, pour into small mixing bowl, cover and freeze until slushy, about 1 hour. Beat with 1 teaspoon lemon juice at high speed until stiff peaks form. Use immediately. 120 calories per cup. I've never beaten just milk in that way, I don't think. I've done heavy cream, but never milk. Yeah, I don't know what about that is in any way nautical. The scrambled sandwich, also the slim and snappy rice salad, none of these things are nautical, so why the steering wheel for a boat and why the person sailing, I don't know. I'm guessing like they think these recipes were good for the season of the year that you would typically be out boating. Ooh, a better egg storing explanation. The blunt end of an egg has an air pocket between the inner and outer shell membranes. This gradually enlarges as the egg loses moisture during storage. Keeping the air pocket at the top helps to keep the yolk centered within the egg and prevents the air pocket from rupturing, which reduces the risk of the egg spoiling. Excellent. Thank you very much, Hannah, for finding that information. Anything pineapple and coconut is island. Actually, you're probably not wrong, Iron Trout. Get a fresh start with eggs. This is, again, this one's not dated, but I'm sure this is like 1979, 1980-ish. This is the 70s, early 80s version of this 2001 brochure. Breakfast pizza, egg spinach salad, hard-cooked hints. Keep hard-cooked eggs on hand in the refrigerator for egg spinach salad, egg salad sandwiches, or just for super quick and nutritious snacking. Egg spinach salad is impressive enough to star at a luncheon or dinner for the boss. What else can you do with hard-cooked eggs? How about using them to stretch a little bit of luxury seafood like shrimp or crab? Or adding them to your favorite casserole for extra protein. Macaroni or tuna salad becomes extra special with the addition of some chopped, hard-cooked eggs. You gotta love, like, these people like eggs a lot. Like the 70s and 80s ad council's art style. Yeah. Fall for eggs. Oh, gosh. This is textured paper. Like this costs more to print. Take an egg to lunch. Actually, not a terrible idea. As long as your cholesterol is good, eating a hard-boiled egg at lunch is not a bad idea. Oh my! We are getting rated on the Rogan 27 channel. Hi, Eric! Welcome, everybody, from the League of Whimsy. Thank you very much for bringing everybody over. Welcome to Archival Adventures. This is my weekly stream from the archives and special collections at Virginia Tech, where I am an archivist. So today we are looking at many, many recipes that, Eric, you sadly cannot eat. Because we are looking at materials from the American Egg Board. Did I get the organization name correct? I should remember what I'm actually doing. Yes, the American Egg Board collection. This is the group responsible for the American. Wow. This is the group responsible for the incredible edible egg ad campaign that you may have seen growing up if you grew up in the United States. And so we're just looking at stuff from them. And archivist, I build arcs for animal groups. No, I don't, but not a bad word pun there. But yeah, if anybody on either channel is not already following 16-Bit Eric, what are you doing? Why aren't you? You really should. Eric has wonderful streams where he talks about his life as a storyteller, most particularly as a tabletop role-playing game GM on the internet. You may know him from Geek and Sundry days. And yeah, missing out on great content. That's what they're doing. So if you're not already following 16-Bit Eric, it is worth a follow. Fun times over there. Let's see, eggs for entertainment. I'm trying to get through to the first rubber banded thing because I want to talk about the rubber bands. But let's see. So we got more of these little individual recipe cards that I'm sure were just like in a little holder next to like the eggs at the grocery store. I wonder if they still do that. Also, do they still do, are there still Incredible Edible Egg commercials? It's been more than a decade since I switched over to streamed television only. I didn't even have like local channels over the antenna because I couldn't get them because of where I was living. And as soon as those streamed sources started offering commercial-free programming for a slightly higher price, I went with that. So I honestly haven't seen commercials in years. So I don't know. Yeah, Iron Trout's in the same boat. You haven't watched commercials in so long, you don't know. Wait, for entertainment, apart from throwing them at people, how else can they be entertaining? I don't think they mean quite that, but I'll look at the pamphlet if you want, Detective Zen. Eggs for entertainment, with an egg RSVP, and again, narrow side pointed down, which we learned from Hannah, keeps the egg fresher longer due to the placement of where the yolk is and the air pocket inside the shell. Is the egg coming to the party? We may never know. Easter eggs are entertainment, you're right. Gazpacho and gelatin? Wait. Gazpacho and gelée. You're not wrong, Elixir. I may have to read that one. Eggs for entertainment? Of course! Few foods can brighten your holiday menus more easily or quickly than egg dishes. From salads, snacks, beverages, and sandwiches, to main dishes and desserts, whatever you have in mind, eggs can fit right in from early morning until the wee hours of the next morning. Whether it's a spur-of-the-moment occasion or a plan-ahead party, you can depend on eggs. Best of all, at the very season when budgets are apt to be in sad shape, eggs are economical. You can afford. I lost where I was because my little monitor over here quit showing. Did we have a internet blip? Or was that just my computer? Economical. Santa Man, that's excellent. You deserve points for that. Points for Santa Man, please. $5 a dozen. Yeah, and I don't usually have internet troubles here. This is a completely different place with internet provided not by who we usually complain about during my game streams. Be Open Sky, thank you for the follow. You strive for excellence. More points. Okay. I lost my place because that happened. And where was I? Whether it's a spur-of-the-moment occasion or a plan-ahead party, you can depend on eggs. Best of all, at the very season when budgets are apt to be in sad shape, eggs are economical. You can afford eggs for entertainment. For party fare or family fare, a quiche is imaginative and elegant. Just whip out a deep dish frozen pie shell and fill it with an egg-rich custard, combined with almost any leftover with an Just whip out a deep dish frozen pie shell and fill it with an egg-rich custard, combined with almost any leftover meat, poultry, cheese, or vegetable. Pop it into the oven and, quick as a wink, you have a delightful entree that costs just pennies. Still not dated, but early 80s for sure. If not late 70s. It would be more than pennies to make a quiche today, especially with a store-bought crust. You can even build a party around eggs. An omelet party, that is. Simply assemble an assortment of omelet fillings, A big bowl of eggs beaten with a little water and a few tools. Then sit back and let the guests take over. Isn't that the easiest form of entertainment ever? Well, sure, it's easy as long as your guests know how to make an omelet and are not allergic to eggs. The egotistical council think their product is the greatest. I mean, it is their job to market eggs, so it's dated, all right. Outdated, if you ask me. Oh, gosh. Not ecstatic about their ideas. Oh. Okay, let's see what this gazpacho en gelée is. 8 appetizer servings. I'm gonna zoom in. How close can we go? We can go all the way. This is the closest zoom that this camera does. Gazpacho en gelée. 8 appetizer servings, 1 cup of cold water, 2 envelopes of unflavored gelatin. My brain has a brand name in it when I see unflavored gelatin. And I was introduced to that product when I needed to slick back my hair during musicals in high school. Some of the claims are egregious. Their ideas are a little extra at times. Oh, you all are going to be very busy throwing points around. 1 can, 15 ounces of tomato sauce special. Elixir, can you explain, or does anybody know what tomato sauce special means? Because I do not know. I'd be like, what is that? I would have to research to even be able to buy the ingredients for this recipe. 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of ground white pepper, 1/2 cup of chopped cucumber, about half of a medium cucumber, 1/4 cup of chopped green pepper, 1/4 cup of chopped onion, 1 to 2 cloves of garlic minced, 4 hard-cooked eggs coarsely chopped, lettuce leaves optional, and dairy sour cream optional. Sorry. My throat got really dry. And I'm sorry. I'm sure I coughed right into the microphone. In a small saucepan, I'm putting so many cooks under the yoke. It was a 70s product. But what made it special? You never saw anybody die from just hearing about all the cholesterol? I've been talking for a while, and it is currently 76 degrees or 24 Celsius in here, and I have fans blowing at me, so I got a little dried out. Can't find any current sauce labeled special. It was canned tomato sauce with tomato bits, onions, celery, and green peppers. So rather than just being pureed tomato in a can, it had veggie bits. It was made by Hunt's. Okay. Can anyone guess the brand name of the unflavored gelatin that came to mind when I read that ingredient? In small saucepans, sprinkle gelatin over cold water, let stand 1 minute. Cook over low heat, stirring constantly until mixture just comes to boiling. Remove from heat, cool 5 minutes. In large bowls, stir together gelatin mixture, tomato sauce, vinegar, salt, cumin, and white pepper until well blended. Stir in cucumber, green pepper, onion, and garlic. Gently fold in eggs. Pour into 1 quart mold. Chill until set, several hours or overnight. Unmold on lettuce-lined platter and dollop with sour cream if desired. I don't know. It seems like a very 70s thing. I wonder if there's an image of this on the somewhere in the history of the 70s dinner party Twitter account. Mr. Ed's special unflavored gelatin? No. Gary's unflavored gelatin is not indeed the one. You thought maybe Gary was the name of his gelatinous cube I knew? Or that they knew? No, honestly, the only brand of unflavored gelatin I am at all familiar with is Knox Gelatin, and Elixir got it right before I said it. Hashtag not sponsored. It's just, that was the only unflavored gelatin available when I was growing up, where I was growing up. And when I needed to, hold my hair in place for Guys and Dolls in high school, that was what the theater director said we needed to do. Go buy unflavored gelatin and comb it through our hair. Concerns about the level of acidity going in with those egg proteins? I mean, won't acid just cook the egg? It's the brand your grandma used to make homemade jelly when you were a kid. I'm sure there are other brands. That was just the only one that I was able to find at stores near me when I was growing up. So it may have just been like, that was the brand that was available regionally. American Egg Board, Holiday Brunch Bake, sea and shore quiches, salmon from the sea and eggs from the shore combine elegantly in this exceptionally tasty dish. Make one large quiche as an entree or individual tarts as appetizers for scrumptious holiday dining. Knox, the Mr. Ed thing was a joke about horse hooves. Oh, iron trout. Yeah. Knox is the gold standard? I don't know, honestly. I'm sure we have, we probably have at least one Knox gelatin cookbook. We probably have other stuff. Wait, slow down. Salmon's from the sea? Yeah, that's the surf part of Surf and Turf. We have so many Knox publications. I may have to just do a Knox stream sometime. Hashtag not sponsored. But just because we have the materials. Fort Knox pun? Oh gosh, I missed it. I'm sorry. Oh, Sanoman. Yes. Lord Portico got it and I missed it. And yeah, we'll have to do a gelatin stream. There are a couple of specific food topics that I should do. Also, Elixir, I now need to investigate and discover the history of pepperoni. But let me put a gelatin stream on the list. I'm curious, how many of you like quiche? So 1 9-inch baked pie shell or 24 tart shells, a can of salmon or tuna, milk. Those two ingredients right next to each other is somewhat disturbing. Although I understand that they need to go together to make this work. 6 eggs, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of instant minced onion, half a teaspoon of dill weed, sour cream, and additional dill weed is optional. Drain and flake the salmon, sprinkle all of the salmon into a pie shell. Add enough milk to reserved salmon liquid to make 1.5 cups. Still, just milk and salmon together, really disturbing me. Do the gelatin stream while eating gelatin. I mean, it's entirely possible that I could bring in some gelatin and have it here as a snack. Jello Knox Cox stream. I'm familiar with Jello and Knox. I'm not familiar with Cox except as a cable company. Oh, you enjoy it when you make it, or when you make it, I assume is the emphasis there. You'll even plan to make a retro gelatin dish. Oh dear. No shame for missing upon your problems with it. No, that's... I get a lot of them, but sometimes they are very esoteric on this stream. I wish we had a test kitchen portico. Although I don't really want to deal with the... Elixir. On the other channel, can you deal with the... I see that the post was deleted, but I don't know if the person got... Can you check for me? Thanks. You like quiche, but not with fish. I will not eat gelatin, but I'm obsessed with recipes. Barbecue Jello salad cubes? Oh gosh, no, please no. Although I have seen Emmy did Vienna sausage gelatin dish. They already bounced. Thank you. Roll with the punches. You've made the barbecue salad. Oh gosh, please no. Yeah, we'll have to plan for that. I don't know when we'll be able to do it though, because I imagine the temperature in this room will need to not be 76 degrees if we want the gelatin to not melt. Rubber bands. This collection that was literally just put in a box. We looked at the finding aid at the beginning, and the finding aid was just like, hey, there's a box, and it has a bunch of stuff in it. And so you open it up, and it's just a box full of stuff. There's no mention of the previously existing organization that is present in this collection, which I'm probably going to need to make a note and revise the finding aid because I don't know that I can put it back on the shelf the way that it is. Because it has some organization to it. This segment here, rubber banded together, is microwave. And at some point, this was, I think, thumbtacked onto something. Because there's a hole, but and this is an old rubber band. This is a very dry, though not yet falling apart, rubber band. You can't usually like hold a rubber band sideways like this and have it remain rigid. Is that the instruction for the sign? Microwave! So this is a rubber band on its way to the grossness that comes. There may have been an exhibit with the materials, and these were microwave related. Yeah, but there's no mention of that anywhere in the finding aid. Was the exhibit our exhibit, or was it someone else's exhibit? Because if this organization existed before we processed it, I feel like it should be mentioned. Before us. That's what I assumed. You used to explode eggs in the microwave for fun when you were a kid. The very first recipe I tried to make up on my own as a kid, I was adventurous for a moment and tried to make up a recipe. And I liked eggs and I liked popcorn and I had a microwave, and so I tried to make scrambled eggs with popcorn in the microwave. It did not go well. I don't cook. But we have a whole pamphlet here on actual recipes for microwaving eggs. So, but it's got some organization in here. It's not just a bunch of pamphlets in a box. And I don't know. I feel like that I would have reflected that if I had been the one processing it. The other thing is, these were rubber banded together. I would want to keep them together. I would not want to keep the rubber bands because the rubber bands are already gross. I don't often, most of our stuff is processed relatively thoroughly, even if it's minimal processing. I don't often have a chance to show off decrepit rubber bands. It's not really processed. It says it is, but it's not. Kids. So these are kids' pamphlets. Celebrate the Seasons with Shelley and Sheldon. Oh my gosh, I think I have seen this one before. Not like, I think I've seen the characters before. Oh dear, we've got a couple, they're sticking together. Some slight bit of adhesive. My life the last 2 weeks has been removing old adhesive from things, and it is not fun. I'm gonna see. It's not completely gone, but it maybe will prevent it. The art style is serving Arthur feels. This is 2003. Egg bunnies. 6 hard-cooked eggs, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, a teaspoon of prepared mustard, 1 to 2 tablespoons of sweet pickle relish, carrots cut diagonally into 24 sticks, thin pretzel sticks, raisins, and 3 cups of packaged torn lettuce. And basically, you're gonna make these things with it. Are those 2 signs supposed to... Microwave kids, no! Can't spell sticky without icky. Definitely do not microwave kids. Great egg recipes for today's teen. Clearly not today, and considering that everything in this collection is older than 2004. But 1986 is the today to which they are referring. They tried to give those cartoon characters egg-shaped heads. Yes, they did, Santa Man. It's Shelley and Sheldon. And I swear I have seen these illustrations before, or these characters before. I just don't remember when. They are slightly disturbing. But so is the illustration of these 80s kids at a soda fountain. Because this is a very 60s situation, but these are supposed to be 80s teens. Try this teaser on your friends. Oh wow, this is a big, lengthy, but it's too tiny. I need to zoom in. I can't read it. Slightly further. Here we go. This will be a good zoom level here. Share a soda and an egg? Well, it is the 80s and they are teens, so when you talk about eggs, they're probably not thinking about chicken eggs. Try this teaser on your friends next time you're talking trivia. True or false? You can keep fresh shell eggs in their carton in the refrigerator for at least 4 to 5 weeks. I love a question that comes with an asterisk at the end. Oh, the asterisk is referring to the answers that are upside down at the bottom of the pamphlet. So, true or false? There has to be an egg cream recipe. I will check. You can keep fresh shell eggs in their carton in the refrigerator for at least 4 to 5 weeks. You should all be able to answer this because we came across the answer to this earlier, although you may have been distracted by the Bible verse at the beginning of the pamphlet. The answer is true. Grade quality losses should be insignificant if you refrigerate your eggs as soon as possible after buying them from a refrigerated case. I was reading that upside down. I didn't bother to flip the pamphlet over. Distinct lack of meringue in this literature? So far, yeah. 80s teens, too busy hanging out with their crazy-haired scientist friends and their DeLoreans. The answer may surprise you, and whether you're a teen who loves to cook, has to cook, or both, the incredible edible egg is full of pleasant surprises. For instance, it's a fact that 2 large eggs add up to 30% of the U.S. recommended daily allowance for protein. That's a full serving from the meat group of the basic 4 food groups. Again, historical terms, the 4 basic food groups is not generally adhered to anymore, neither is the food pyramid, but you will find them in these materials. But those same 2 large eggs are a dieter's delight because they weigh in at only 160 calories. If you combine eggs wisely with a good selection of foods from the other food groups, fruits and vegetables, whole grain or enriched breads, and cereals and dairy foods, either in one dish or at one meal, you can be well on your way to a highly nutritious day. No matter if you're a weight room warrior, aerobic exerciser, or bench-side bookworm, good nutrition is important. Oh boy, the stereotypes are strong. Now here's a question to keep everyone guessing. Back in 1919, Chef Adolphe Mayer? I'm guessing it's not Adolf because it has the E on the end. So Adolphe Mayer, whose specialty was eggs, wrote a cookbook titled A, Dozens of Egg Entries, or that was my mistake. Dozens of egg entrees, B, Eggs in 1,000 Ways, or C, I'll scramble for you. Any guesses? Why is the internet behaving oddly on this computer? It's probably the port over there. You don't think the answer will surprise you? The answer is not... What? So the answer as given to question B is nothing. There is no answer given. Oh no, I guess it is B. The answer is B. I was very confused by, wow. I was like, this is the second question. And I thought B was indicating second question. No, B was the answer. So the book he wrote was Eggs in 1,000 Ways. Sorry, I've advanced too far there. There we go. He really had the right idea. Eggs are an incredibly versatile food that can be served not only for breakfast and brunch, but also for lunch, dinner, snack time, and party time too. But don't take our word for it. Try the recipes in this leaflet and let them convince you. Once you master the basic egg cooking methods here, let yourself loose and substitute almost anything from apples to zucchini in the recipes to invent your own egg specialty. I will note, probably don't try to pop popcorn kernels in liquid beaten egg in the microwave. It makes a mess and doesn't produce anything edible. So that is not one of the 1,000 ways. Again, I don't cook, and I did not cook when I was a kid. Despite thinking I had ideas. One of the things you'll discover is that eggs are quick and easy to make on the tightest of time schedules. When you're rushing to catch the morning bus, if you're so famished after school, you just can't wait for a snack. For those times when the family's counting on you for dinner in a hurry, or if your best friend calls in a panic wanting you to bring a super treat for the last minute get-together, you can turn to eggs. Howard Helmer, Eastern representative for the American Egg Board, proved exactly how fast egg cooking can be when he broke the record for omelet making. Howard made 217 omelets in blank minutes. I'm just going to give it to you. He made 217 omelets in 30 minutes. Answer one last question right to qualify as an egghead. When large eggs are 90 cents a dozen, they cost blank per pound. That is a math question, not an egg question. Would they be a cooking master at that point? Well, they're at least an expert. Why isn't there a book called An Overview of Egg Dishes? Lord Portico? And Sanoman? Those are both very excellent puns. Have you searched? There may be an overview of egg dishes. So apparently the answer is a mere 60 cents a pound. Compared to other protein foods, eggs are a great nutritional buy. P.S. It's a compliment to be called an egghead. It means you're smart. Wow. How can you go wrong with such a great nutrition bargain? The incredible edible egg isn't a trivial subject at all. All right. We have a taco waffle egg, dessert pizza pancake below that. I'm going to zoom back out. Maybe? Come on. Rarg! I believe this would be the zoom level to show you the entire thing. BLT&E. A strawberry slurp. Is that going to be the egg cream? It's hard to believe, but sometimes good-for-you foods can taste good, too. If you aren't crazy about wheat germ, skip it. With toast or a muffin for a quick breakfast by itself after school or for a late-night snack, this tall cooler goes down easy. Skeptical? Try it. Plain yogurt, an egg, strawberries, banana, honey, toasted wheat germ. It's a drink, but not an egg cream. Fried Egg Club Supreme, incredibly quick quiche. Zippity dip, delicious devils. I guess those would be deviled eggs. Veggie good egg salad, south of the border bake, cheeseburger puffy omelet. Despite the soda shop illustration on the front, there is no egg cream recipe in this pamphlet. Lord Portico, thank you for joining. We will be ending very shortly. It is technically time for the stream to end. So let me, some of the rubber bands are still bandy, rubbery. I don't know what term I want to use. Stretchy, that's a good term. But most of them are worn out. We have senior. Rediscover eggs. So this is for the old people. They need to rediscover eggs. Technically time, but you can stick around while we scramble to finish. Gold Star recipes, eggs, convenient cooking for many households. We need more of this, please, from all sorts of food places. Please, recipes for the individual or families of 2 instead of everything being 4-person. I lived by myself for 3 years. And despite the fact that I really just don't cook, part of that is, during that time was, I don't eat leftovers well. I don't do leftovers well. So I need recipes that are for 1 if I'm gonna be by myself. Either that or I end up eating the whole thing or throwing out food that, I have my own foibles, but your omelette Rogan finish. Oh, Elixir, thank you. We don't want to be over easy with time. Breakfast or brunch? If it ain't eggs, it ain't breakfast. I just want to look at the categories and then we'll be done. We all have our own foibles, yeah. Although apparently mine are somewhat common. I mean, the tag is there on the one channel at least. Remnant of rubber band. The ADHD. Apparently leftovers can be a problem for many ADHD people. And look, rubber band stuck to the pamphlet. This is, I would have taken care of this while processing, personally. Breakfast and brunch concertos. Eggs Olay. The label for this one is ethnic. Eggs Olay. It's stuck. So it's a pliable adhesive, but we'll probably want to unstick that soon. Oh, they're all 3 stuck together. And they're all Spanish or Mexican. So ethnic. Quick/easy. And here the rubber band has even bent one of the pamphlets. So another reason why I would just, in like processing it, I would want to get rid of the rubber bands, even for minimal processing, because they're going to damage things over time. Tired of takeout? These recipes are proof that home cooking does not have to be complicated. Start your day with portable egg burrito, the perfect grab and go. Frazzled after fighting rush hour traffic? Pop polenta and pepperoni strata into the oven. By the time you've tossed a salad or just put your feet up for a well-deserved break, it'll be deliciously golden and bubbly. From appetizer through dessert, eggs fit in any time of day. Treat yourself to meals that are better tasting, more nutritious, and easy on the pocketbook. There's no trick to expediting old-fashioned home cooking. Just remember this reliable formula. Eggs plus 4 simple ingredients equals the quintessential recipe. The quintessential recipe. Popular egg basics. My favorite category. The best category you can ever find? Question mark. I actually really hate this category, but I didn't create these categories. This is stuck to nutrition, and the nutrition, the last item in nutrition is stuck to economy. I'm uncertain whether the adhesive that is on some of these is due to melting rubber bands or whether it is from some other source. But yeah, this collection needs a little TLC. I will chase a few waterfalls, or rather not chase a few waterfalls after stream to maybe clean this up a little. You're convinced the adhesive is old albumin? From what I've seen, it seems sort of like, you know, sometimes you'll buy something and it will have like a label, like you buy a plastic item and it's got a label and it's attached with these little dots of this glue that's sort of easy to just roll up and get off of. It seems like it might be that kind of adhesive, so I don't think it's the rubber bands melting or anything like that, but I haven't seen a source for where that would have come from in here. But that, I think, might be it. I just don't know, and I don't want to pull too hard on stream and like tear it when I have tools downstairs at my desk where I could more gently remove the adhesive. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and lakes that I'm used to? Really? Okay. I suppose there's some TLC needed. So anyway, I somewhere in here it switches over to the dieting things. I have the label. I know there was a dieting category, and there's definitely like these are dieting. I just, however, they were bound together. See, salmonella and egg safety does not seem like dieting. So I'm guessing dieting probably starts here with the sunny side of dieting. That would be my guess. Entertaining, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure where that one goes, and I would need to look at it a little bit more, and probably will later, just to clean this up. But yeah, because this is how this collection was, and I think we can provide a little bit more assistance to researchers. But I said we would spend 2 full hours easily on this, and we did. Side effect of salmonella poisoning could be a type of dieting. I wouldn't recommend it. And again, do not take health advice from this stream. Completely side note, the morning you went to MEPS, MEPS, in 1995, that song was playing constantly on the big screen at the MEPS station. The day you checked into the Navy. Weird how random stuff. So audio, visual, or scent-based triggers, sometimes touch-based triggers as well. It is really cool how the memory works and sort of what can trigger a memory. Thank you for sharing, Iron Trout. Yeah, okay. We are at the end. We do need to end the stream. Let me go ahead and see where we're going. Let me make sure that this is, yes, good, muted. Well, we could head over to Stephen Joy's, which we've done a number of times recently. Stephen is currently playing Vampire Survivors. There's also, of course, the Monterey Bay Aquarium, where they currently have the spider crab cam. Just looking to see what else might make sense. I mean, there are other streamers live as well, but those seem to be the two that we tend to do at the end of this stream, and I'm okay with them. So, are we thinking games or wildlife? I will entertain suggestions, or I will make a choice on my own. I don't think that it's one of their live cameras. It just happens to be the spider crab camera today. Is that you voting for the aquarium? The aquarium is good background for like just sort of listening to something or having something on in the background. If you want to chat with a streamer, though, we could always say hello. All right, I'm not seeing a lot of like, we haven't done the aquarium in a bit. Okay, let's do the aquarium then. Fishies. All right, Spider Crab Cam, here we come. Thank you all for joining me today for this stream. Next week, there is an archival adventure planned where we will be looking at the Thornton L. Page papers. He was a person. I know I picked it because he was stationed in Hawaii at Pearl Harbor during the attack on Pearl Harbor, and the stream is on Pearl Harbor Day, but he was a scientist. I was gonna try and get... I was looking for the info, but the info is gonna get away from me before I can tell you. Thornton Page papers, come on. He was an aerospace engineer. Yes. So you should tune in next week and learn more about Thornton Page and his aerospace engineering. 2:30 p.m. either channel next Wednesday. I hope I see some of you then. If not, hopefully I see you soon. Stay curious about history, and later.